Marion Ford Lincoln right here in Statesville, I-77 exit 49B.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Good morning, Lake Norman. This is Cornelius, Mayor Woody Washam, and we are about town today with a very, very special guest talking about a very, very special topic. You know, we got something really big going on in our town this evening. It's an event that I've been a part of and attended for so long, actually in and around 10 years now, with Senator Tom Tillis's spouse, Susan Tillis. And welcome, Susan. We're so glad to have you today. It's very much of a pleasure to talk about that big event that's going to happen in the town of Cornelius at Cornelius Town Hall just this evening. Are you ready for it?
Good morning, Woody. Yes, so tonight is our, believe it or not, it's going to be our 10th annual shower this evening at Cornelius Town Hall, and we're expecting once again a big crowd and lots of great donations coming in to support our military families.
That's awesome. So, folks, you just heard her call what this is actually this evening, and it's a shower. It really is a shower, right?
It's a working shower. So for all the gentlemen out there thinking they don't want to come to a baby shower where you're sitting around opening gifts, it's actually nothing like that. People are bringing in supplies. We're sorting, we're organizing, we're cutting tags off. We make sure that everything's ready so that when we end the evening, we can put them in boxes and get it ready to send to Fort Liberty, formerly Fort Bragg in Fayetteville.
Oh, that is so awesome. It absolutely is awesome. So tell me a little bit about what motivated you to bring on this Susan M. Tillis Foundation as well as this wonderful event. Why is this important to our troops and the folks down at Fort Liberty?
So back in 2015, I was fortunate enough to spend some time with some of our critically wounded veterans up at Walter Reed, which is in the DC area. And we got to fellowship with not only those wounded, but also their families. And at the end of the evening, I had one particular mom, and every time I tell this story, I get teary-eyed. But they had been there for 5 years. He was catastrophically wounded. He had trouble speaking. They had 3 children. And as I was leaving, I asked her, what could I do for her? How could I help them? And her answer was very simple, but had a profound impact on me and was ultimately why I started the foundation. She said, please don't forget about us.
That is so awesome, and I know that not to get in much of the politics of your husband, but I just happen to know that Senator Tillis has been so supportive of our troops, so supportive of helping them in any way he can. So it goes right along with things that are important to him, I'm sure, right?
It did, yeah. And I think that once you realize that Fort Bragg and Fort Liberty is one of our biggest military bases, they're there, and their families are there to protect us. And, we have over 1 million veterans right now in the state of North Carolina. What we've learned is those veterans, when they serve in any of our military bases here in North Carolina, they end up wanting to come home. They want to come back here, whether this was where they were born or not. We're seeing that influx of people. And back to the shower. So then I came home that night and I told my husband, I promised I wouldn't forget them, and now I'm going to find a way not to. And so I traveled to Fort Bragg and I found a program called Baby Bundles, where I learned that the financing wasn't there all the time. So they stopped And all it is a very simple program where you're giving a bundle to some of our E6 and below service members at Womack Hospital. And a lot of times those are the only gifts they get. So it's been our mission to make sure that any of those families in the hospital go home with one of our bundles and they know that they aren't forgotten.
Oh, that is what a story. I mean, that is totally incredible. So you started out. Take us from the first event 10 years ago to now. I know this has grown and grown and grown, and I have visions of that community room at the Cornelius Town Hall packed to the ceiling almost, and you're loading trucks and different transport mechanisms to get these items back to where they can be used. So tell us about how this has moved forward over the years.
So the very first shower I had after my visit to Walter Reed, I came home, I told my husband, I'm going to have a baby shower, and he said, just make sure it's successful. And so that was the first one. I decided not to do it near Fort Liberty, Fort Bragg at the time, because I wanted to make sure that the rest of the community that isn't living day in and day out with our military families remembers that they're still out there serving us. And so my first shower was a huge success. It was a little disorganized, but we probably raised $50,000. And 10 years later, we are now on the impetus of $1 million in donations.
That is totally incredible.
It really is.
Really is.
It's grassroots.
And what would these folks do without this? My goodness, there'd be such a void with our service people, I'm sure. I don't know where they would turn.
So it's the basics. It's diapers, it's wipes, it's onesies. We've gotten thank you notes, Woody, from some of our family members that didn't have anything to even take their babies home in. And so when they get our bundle, they now have an outfit.
That's incredible. So what is in a bundle? What does that mean?
So our bundles will be diapers, wipes, onesies, blankets, hats, socks. Sometimes it'll be a book. You know, we've been really fortunate that the folks out there in the community, and I say the community at large because it's really the state of North Carolina that has loved this program. Who doesn't love babies? So it'll have anything. It could have rattles. It could have toys. So we take just about everything. Up until a couple years ago, they wouldn't take formula, but they have changed that.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I'm sure you could relate to it even better as time has gone along because you're a grandmother now. Isn't that correct? So tell us about that.
So we are proud grandparents now. They live right here in Cornelius. Just
awesome.
Right around the corner. Sawyer Marie is 6. And then Willow Ray is 3.5. And Shepherd Thomas is 10 months.
Oh, wow. Family's growing. That is absolutely incredible. We are here today with Susan Tillis talking about the Baby Bundles event. We look forward to continuing this conversation, and we will be right back in just a few minutes.
More About Town with Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam. Coming up on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, we'll just call it an early taste of summer, really cranking up the heat over the next couple of days. Plenty of sunshine today. As high temperatures warm into the upper 80s and near 90 across the Lake Norman area this afternoon. Mild overnight under a clear sky. Temperatures dip down into the low 60s. We're back in the mid and upper 80s for Friday afternoon. But the weekend may have a tough time with outdoor plans. Scattered rain and even a few thunderstorms possible Saturday and Sunday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Listen, save, enjoy the WSIC app. Available now in your app store.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Thursday is opening night for Langtree Live. This free concert series begins a 17-week summertime run. Event start time is 6:30 p.m. with music from U2 tribute band Rattle and Hum beginning at 7. Grab your chairs and we will see you at Langtree in Mooresville on Thursday. Mark and Maggie O'Connor return to the Kane Center for the Arts Friday for a special performance in support of their new album, Life After Life. The upcoming album reveals the pair's most sincere and deeply personal work yet. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. with a showtime at 7:30. For more information on this show and many other programs, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Come celebrate May the 4th this Saturday at Ghostface Brewing Social District in Mooresville. There will be Star Wars themed cosplay, memorabilia for sale, vendors, and themed music by the Langtree Charter Jazz Band. May the 4th be with you on Saturday at Ghostface. Friday and Saturday at ZMAX Dragway in Concord is the Breakaway Music Festival Another World 2024. The festival begins at 4 p.m. on Friday and at 3 p.m. on Saturday with performances by Excision, Nightmare, Of the Trees, Sudden Death, Zomboy, and more. Details at charlottemotorspeedway.com. Community Singers of Lake Norman present Smokin' to a Motown Beat, a choral presentation of the sounds of Motown and rock and roll. Take a musical journey back to the 50s, 60s, and 70s with hits by the Supremes, the Four Tops, Stevie Wonder, Elvis, and more. The concert features highlights from Broadway shows Motown the Musical and Smokey Joe's Cafe, along with the Mooresville High School Honors Chorus. See you at the Mooresville Performing Arts Centers on May 5th. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
We are back with more of About Town with Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
And we're back. This is Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam, and we are about town today with Susan Tillis. Susan Tillis just happens to be the wife of Senator Tom Tillis. So how long has when did Tom get elected as senator? I was there at the victory celebration. I remember that. How long has that been, Susan?
That was November 2014. So
Wow.
he's currently in his second term. U.S. senators serve for 6 years.
Yes. Yeah, that is incredible. It really is. And time has flown by. I just love going to D.C. to visit with him because he truly rolls out the red carpet for his constituents. And certainly from the town where he got his political beginnings, which is the town of Cornelius. And boy, that goes back a ways.
It does.
Yeah.
We talk about it a lot, how Commissioner Benzman really was one of the reasons he got started in it when he wanted a mountain bike trail. And he was convinced to join the Park and Rec
Sure.
board, and then he ran for Cornelius town commissioner, and the bike trail is right over there, right near Jaton Park.
And it's happened.
Yeah.
It absolutely has happened. That's been an unbelievable journey for him as he traveled through the State House. That brought lots of recognition to our town when he served as Speaker of the House for so long. We miss him. We really do in that role, but we're glad to have him at the national level because that's certainly somebody he is certainly my go-to person when I really want the truth about what's really going on up there. And he has told some stories.
Oh, he has stories.
Oh, he does. And I bet you do too.
I do.
What's your best story?
Oh, gosh. So, well, of course, traveling the state has really been a blessing. We've met thousands and thousands of people. Occasionally, I'll be able to travel with him to some countries that normally I probably wouldn't have been exposed to. And some of those trips have been eye-opening for me. And I'm not one of those spouses that enjoys going around and shopping. I really want to go. If I'm going to go on a trip, I want to learn. And so we traveled to Saudi Arabia, and that was very, very interesting and eye-opening, and Egypt and Turkey, where I got to see refugee camps and those kind of things.
Yeah, parts of the world that an average citizen like me probably wouldn't want to travel to, but with the protection of a U.S. senator right there, it's a little safer, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I think, for me, it's about if I'm going to go and do that and leave the state I love and the home I love, I want to go and learn and then be able to come back and talk to people about what I saw and what is really important and why those relationships in those countries are important
Hmm.
and how blessed we are to live in the United States.
Oh, I don't think a lot of people realize that. They really don't. And you see all the demonstrations going on today at our colleges. It's very concerning that people from faraway countries come to this country and then demonstrate and want
Hmm.
their flag raised above our flag. And it's a concerning time for our country. And it gives me more confidence that Tom is up there. He was on the Armed Services Committees. He's still doing that. Is that one of his assignments?
He's not, but he still has a military liaison and
Yes,
is very active in the armed services. He still serves on Veterans
that's
Affairs,
right.
banking, financing, and then he's the chair of the IP subcommittee, which means nothing to me, but it's all about intellectual property. So it goes down when he starts talking to me about that stuff, I glaze over a little bit, but
Yeah,
it's important.
and it's getting more important as time moves forward for sure. Absolutely, it is. No doubt about that. Well, I'm sure you've got some great stories and some great experiences, and me personally, I sure hope he keeps serving.
Thank
I
you.
know he's got a potential reelection coming up, and I know that you as a spouse are plugged into whatever his decision will be to run again, as my spouse would be as well. So that's a huge part of his decision, I'm
Yes,
sure.
sir.
So I know he respects what you think about that, and it's a tough decision because you've got family involved, and it's a tough job when it relates to. I can't imagine what it would be like, serving within the town of Cornelius and running for an election in, such a small area versus the state of North Carolina, and then serving at a national level and being recognized as one of the top members of Congress is pretty incredible. It really is, and I just uh, really thank him for his service. He means a lot to our state. He means a lot to our town, and you know, I want to keep him there as long as he's willing to serve and can serve. So
We
I'm excited about that.
One of the challenges that for both of us is the time apart. So I still am very actively involved in the state. I live here. We both live here, but he is gone 4 days a week. And
Mm.
I actually like spending time with him, and he likes spending time with me. And we really miss each other during the week. And that is the hardest part for both of us. I was thinking about Woody at the night of election in 2014,
It was
and
so close.
it was really close. And one funny story that I've shared before with some folks, but we were at one of the downtown hotels, and we were up in a room, and at the time it was former Mayor Pat McCrory was up there, and he was leaning over, and I'm looking at my phone, and I'm trying to analyze results, and Tom was down, um, and Pat leans over and he goes, "Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I was down too at that point." And I looked over at Pat and I said, "Well, Pat, you lost." and and so we talk about that quite a bit. Thankfully, Tom, as you know, the night went on and the votes came in and we ended up winning, thankfully.
It was a
So
good ending to that
yeah,
story, but a very nerve-wracking
it
night
was a nerve-wracking night.
for those of us in the big hall downstairs, and I just couldn't imagine what you go through and uh, dissecting those returns as they're counted throughout the state. Tough job, but so grateful again to him for serving. I know, I guess if you were in D.C. with him, he stays so busy. We were up there a few weeks ago as a town during the League of Municipalities conference, and but he took all the time we wanted to sit down in his office. He lined us up a wonderful lunch at the Senate dining room, and it was really amazing to look around that room and see these faces you recognized, and the senator that had given the response to the State of the Union just happened to be in there too. Of course, everybody recognized her, and so that was really, really cool. Also, through your contacts, we've gotten to know Tom's chief of staff, and what a great guy he is. We spent a lot of time with him while we were there as well. He took us to lunch and spent time trying to find out, in addition to what Tom had found out, what was priorities for us in the town of Cornelius, how they could help. And there's certain very specific things that we ask them for that they're working hard on today. So it's great to have that relationship. I just can't emphasize that enough. And I think, when we step into D.C., he kind of opens his doors for us. And we just couldn't be more grateful for that. So it's awesome.
I think when people don't realize I say ours, but it's really his offices. So we have 5 offices in the state and then the main office in D.C. And the statewide offices are really there also to support constituents. So as you know, it could be anything from a passport to, when we went through the emergence of COVID and then people were stuck in countries, helping facilitate that. When Afghanistan fell, we had some of our interpreters over there that served alongside some of our military families, and he was up all night long along with our state staff, making sure that we did everything we could to get those families safe and get Americans out.
Absolutely. And that was such a critical time, and it really was. And then to guide us all from the federal level through COVID and all the terrible concerns that were going on through that time was a tough time as well. But we felt like we had a friend in D.C., and that always gave us comfort here in the town of Cornelius, and that was a good go-to to get clarification on a lot of things that were happening at the federal level, and it was certainly a tough time, and I felt like almost a couple of years of my term as mayor sort of got taken away because we were living through that, but I was glad I could do what I did through that time. But it was tough making the right decisions, and I'm sure it was many times compounded at the federal level as well. So anyhow, but we'll be right back. I can't wait to hear some of your stories related to the baby bundles. I know you've got some really wonderful situations that you want to tell us about. I can't wait to hear it. Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam, and we'll be right back.
Don't go anywhere. We'll return with more of Mayor Woody Washam and About Town in just a moment on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, we'll just call it an early taste of summer, really cranking up the heat over the next couple of days. Plenty of sunshine today. As high temperatures warm into the upper 80s and near 90 across the Lake Norman area this afternoon. Mild overnight under a clear sky, and temperatures dip down into the low 60s. We're back in the mid and upper 80s for Friday afternoon. But the weekend may have a tough time with outdoor plans. Scattered rain and even a few thunderstorms possible Saturday and Sunday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Right now, Sharp's Lawn Equipment is offering 0% financing up to $800 rebates and Toro Time Cutter mowers as low as $29.99. Visit Sharp's Lawn Equipment in Statesville or visit us at sharpslawn.com.
When you use Bounce dryer sheets and your clothes look amazing, it's the sheet. Less static in your life? Yeah, it's the sheet. Smelling fresher than ever? It's the sheet. Oh, so soft fabric? Ooh la la. It's the sheet. Less wrinkles on your clothes? You know it's the sheet. Bounce dryer sheets. More freshness, more softness. Less static, less wrinkles. It's the sheet.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The Statesville Family YMCA reminds you that older adults and those with chronic health conditions don't need to feel they must accept impaired balance and limited mobility. Build strength, improve balance, and gain confidence in your mobility through the Moving for Better Balance program. For questions and additional information, email C. Mullins at ymcanwnc.org.
The NASCAR Cup Series heads to Kansas for the Advent Health 400. Catch all the action right here on WSIC starting at 2 p.m. Your home for NASCAR, WSIC.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. For workout company Peloton, things still aren't working out. The post-pandemic sales slump as people left home again for exercise hasn't been offset enough by new initiatives, such as equipping hotel chains with its bikes and selling equipment at Dick's Sporting Goods. So now it's making big changes. Along with its latest results, which missed forecasts, Peloton says it's cutting 15% of its payroll, about 400 jobs, and the CEO is stepping down, shares tumbling 11%. Another company whose massive wave of fortune crashed post-pandemic is reporting a loss for last quarter. But for Moderna, it was a smaller loss than forecast, as cost-cutting helped offset its steep decline in its COVID vaccine business. This month, Moderna is expected to get U.S. approval for its second product, a vaccine for RSV, which it hopes will help fill the hole left by its shrinking COVID business. Wall Street's indexes moderately higher so far. Dow up 0.33%, NASDAQ up 0.5%, S&P 500 gaining 0.25%. Andrew O'Day, Bloomberg Radio.
Call now to speak with Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam at 844-STUDIO-4. It's About Town on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
And we're back. Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam right here. And we're having a great time today hearing about a fabulous event that's occurring this evening at the Cornelius Town Hall. It's an event that is 10 years old now, and an event that is supported by the Susan Tillis Foundation, and it's called Baby Bundles. And what a cool thing to help the families of our servicemen and women once they have babies in Fort Liberty, formerly Fort Bragg. What a great concept this is. And Susan has told the story earlier in our program about how she came up with this concept, and that's quite a story. You'll have to go back and listen to that if you missed that part. But, Susan, I know you've got some incredible stories that you've experienced through this process of 10 years. I've heard the one about the triplets. Can you elaborate on that one?
Yeah, so this was 2016, and I became aware of a family at Fort Bragg. It was a young family. She was 19, he was 21, junior enlisted, and they found out they were having triplets. And, at the time, junior enlisted salaries were $22,000 a year, so you can imagine the enormous cost. And John was very persistent and kept knocking on the door asking for help. And thankfully, we were there to help provide uh, car seats, strollers, diapers. Each baby got their own big bundle, so they walked away with a really nice start to their life as a family of 5, going from a family of 2.
Boy, that'd be a shock, wouldn't it?
Oh, it'd be a
One's
hard.
bad enough or good enough.
It's good enough, but yeah, it's definitely they're all doing well. They've been in and out of the state. He still serves in the military, but he is back in North Carolina, and I was hoping they could join us this evening, and unfortunately, timing didn't work out. But we anticipate having some time with them soon. When the babies were born, Tom got to go to the hospital at Womack and visit with all 3 babies.
Oh, that was a thrill, I bet.
Yeah.
Absolutely a thrill. So tell us about how this evening is gonna play out. In other words, how do you orchestrate all this? Give our listeners a picture of what this is going to look like in case they can't get by, and but if they can get by, let's talk about that too, because I want them to be able to uh, drop something by if they so choose to do that. I know Sharon's got her piece of the bundle she's been ordering from Amazon here the
That's
last couple of
awesome.
days, and so we can't wait to deliver that to the site tonight. But there's also opportunities for really anybody to help with this. Isn't that correct?
It is. So I call it organized chaos because, as you know, you walk in to thank you to the town for always providing the community room. We will get there and start unloading about 4:30 as soon as we can get into the room. And then we're setting up tables, so anybody is welcome to help with that. And then the formal program starts at 6, and we get to work. People are sorting by gender and by item, and unloading and loading and stacking and cutting tags off, and really, that's all about getting those bundles ready for that newborn family in Womack.
Mm-hmm.
And so wear comfy clothes. We will have, a brief formal program where I'll speak, and thankfully you'll be with us this
Sure.
evening to
Absolutely.
talk. We're also going to have a family there, so they will receive a bundle. It's a National Guard family that lives right here in Charlotte. So we're excited to give them a great send off and great start this evening.
Well, it'll be exciting. It really will be. So if folks really can't get there, and there's ways to support this event and this cause, great cause, other than just walking into this room tonight. So tell folks how they can do that.
So there's several ways we do. First, I should mention we are a 501c3. We are a nonprofit. We don't have any paid staff. We're all volunteer. So when we're preparing for the shower, it's months of prep work and volunteer hours to get us there tonight. But if people cannot make it to the shower tonight, they can drop off items at Town Hall. They can go on our website, susantillis.org, and donate there. We also have an Amazon registry with all the things that you want to buy. And trust me, it's always fun to shop for little babies. So the list is out there, and the list is open all year round. People ask, is this the only time that I can donate? No, it's not. Babies are born all year round, and so we welcome donations throughout the year for our military families.
Well, I'm sure donations are important too. Uh, there's certain costs that you've got to incur as go through providing these items to those that need them. So I imagine a donation would be pretty important to the foundation to support this cause as well. So if you can't just bring a baby type item, write a check, folks. It's not hard to do, And if you go to the susantillis.org, you can get the address, or you can probably pay online. Is
You
that
can do
correct?
both. The address is on the bottom of our website to mail a check. It's right here in Cornelius. It's actually right below us in the studio. And then also you can donate online, and anything is really welcome. We typically, when we get cash donations, will turn around and spend that money on items that we may think we're low on. So this year we're anticipating 2,000 babies at WOMAC. So if you add the math up, we need 2,000 onesies and 2,000 pairs of socks. And so it adds up. So any donation is welcome and appreciated.
Well, I was just getting ready to ask you that question as to how many babies do you serve? How many families do you serve? That's a lot of families. Has that grown over the years?
So it's grown, and then we had, of course, during COVID, we had to kind of zig and zag like all organizations. So the numbers went down a little bit, but we found a way to get those bundles to our families. So we're seeing that number, go back up. It went down obviously in 2020, 2021, but babies are being born, and we're there to support them.
Sure, that is awesome. I mean, it really is, and I can't see why anybody that certainly has high respect for our military wouldn't jump in and support these families, because, as you said, financially they're not getting rich, are they?
No, they really have the heart to serve, and they're doing it to protect us. And Monday's events here in Charlotte were a reminder to me about that promise that I made to that young mother up at Walter Reed. I know two of the folks that were tragically killed on Monday also were prior military. And
Yes.
So for me, it's very personal, and I'm sorry for getting choked up about this, but it's our why. It's making sure that I've kept my promise to that young mother at Walter Reed, that these folks are out there protecting us every single day, and it's our duty and it's my honor to make sure that I keep that promise and give back to those families that need us most.
Well, you certainly made an unbelievable discovery of a need that we have as part of our military and our public service people, and it's pretty incredible. We've had a pretty sad week here in the Charlotte area, and incidents like occurred with 4 public safety folks shot and 4 more wounded are absolute times that it affects all of our public safety people up and down the line. And I was able to ride by and see the honoring of one of them as the body was transported from Charlotte up to Mooresville yesterday. He actually lived in Mooresville, so it certainly warmed my heart. It really did. But it was been a crazy week, and it's got to get better. This is Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam, and we need to take a break, and we'll be right back.
Be a part of the conversation.
I listen on the way to work.
Have your say.
It's more than just opinions, it's facts.
This is WSIC News Talk Now.
Well, we'll just call it an early taste of summer, really cranking up the heat over the next couple of days. Plenty of sunshine today as high temperatures warm into the upper 80s and near 90 across the Lake Norman area this afternoon. Mild overnight under a clear sky. Temperatures dip down into the low 60s. We're back in the mid and upper 80s for Friday afternoon. But the weekend may have a tough time with outdoor plans. Scattered rain and even a few thunderstorms possible Saturday and Sunday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Thursday is opening night for Langtree Live. This free concert series begins a 17-week summertime run. Event start time is 6:30 p.m. with music from U2 tribute band Rattle and Hum beginning at 7. Grab your chairs and we will see you at Langtree in Mooresville on Thursday. Mark and Maggie O'Connor return to the Kane Center for the Arts Friday for a special performance in support of their new album, Life After Life. The upcoming album reveals the pair's most sincere and deeply personal work yet. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. with a showtime at 7:30. For more information on this show and many other programs, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Come celebrate May the 4th this Saturday at Ghostface Brewing Social District in Mooresville. There will be Star Wars themed cosplay, memorabilia for sale, vendors, and themed music by the Langtree Charter Jazz Band. May the 4th be with you on Saturday at Ghostface. Friday and Saturday at Xenax Dragway in Concord is the Breakaway Music Festival Another World 2024. The festival begins at 4 p.m. on Friday and at 3 p.m. on Saturday with performances by Excision, Nightmare, Of the Trees, Sudden Death, Zomboy, and more. Details at charlottemotorspeedway.com. Community Singers of Lake Norman present Smokin' to a Motown Beat, a choral presentation of the sounds of Motown and rock and roll. Take a musical journey back to the 50s, 60s, and 70s with hits by the Supremes, the Four Tops, Stevie Wonder, Elvis, and more. The concert features highlights from Broadway shows Motown the Musical and Smokey Joe's Cafe, along with the Mooresville High School Honors Chorus. See you at the Mooresville Performing Arts Centers on May 5th. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
It's About Town with Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
This is Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam, and we're back for our final segment of a great show today featuring Susan Tillis. Susan is the wife of U.S. Senator Tom Tillis, and it's just a pleasure to have her here on the show today to update us on this wonderful event that's occurring in Cornelius tonight. And, I'm so glad that my radio show coincided with the event tonight because it gets me hyped up about it, and it also allows me to learn more about it as we move through these segments today. So I'm very excited about being there and being a part of it live tonight. Absolutely. So over the past 10 years, Susan, you've come a long way with this great mission that you're on. We've learned why this is important to you. We've learned the reasons that that your passion is what it is to support these military families. But I've just got a feeling that there's a great future ahead for you too. So tell us about that, and tell us where this organization is going to go. And there's so many needs, I'm sure, with our military out there. I don't know where you stop. So tell us about the future of not only the foundation, but this baby bundles process. Are you going to expand it out of Fort Bragg ever, you think?
Well, that has always been a goal of mine. We're still thinking about that. The challenge we have is each base is very different. And then, of course, the leaders turn over every couple of years. So you kind of have to start again. But we do have some exciting news for this evening. We're announcing a rebrand this evening. Because of the bundled program, we've always called it the Red, White, and Bundled Shower. We are rebranding from the Susan M. Tillis Foundation to Red, White, and Bundled, complete with a new logo. We're going to have a new website. We're going to start really promoting it. And the hope is that that expansion of the organization will happen with the rebrand and the growth. We're working with a local marketing company that's helping us kind of set that up for us, and we're excited. Again, it's hard to believe that I'm on the cusp of $1 million in donations. And I know all your listeners out there might just help us get there if they would go to susantillis.org and donate, or show up at Cornelius Town Hall and drop off a onesie or a diaper or a couple pairs of socks. I promise you are making a difference in the lives of our military.
Yeah, that could put you right over the top very easily. Well, I love your new name.
You do.
That certainly describes exactly what you do, and I'm sure that's the goal of telling this story. I've heard you use that phrase in the past anyway, so it just fits nicely with what you're talking about. So congratulations on
Thank
coming up with
you.
that. I don't know if that was your idea or whose, but I know you're part of the final decision. Now, your organization has a pretty phenomenal board that backs you up too. I've heard that, right?
Yes, we have, again, we're all volunteer and all local. So Betsy McCorkle is out of Raleigh, and her husband has served and still serves in the National Guard. Melissa Taylor, who is from Cornelius, serves on our.
I just ran into her a
Yeah,
few moments ago.
yeah. And these are all people that were there from the beginning and just believed in the mission. And no matter when or where or what I need, they're, always willing to step up and help. And then Lynette Rinker, former mayor of Cornelius,
Yes.
is on the board. And
Awesome.
then we have Judy Hodson,
Mhm.
who is from Cornelius also. And so she serves, and Danica Thomas, who's in the room with us tonight, who is the spouse of someone that served too. So she has an incredible story as well. Um, and so,
Yeah, there's so many stories, and I just could imagine that every single bundle has its own story that is worth telling. You just can't tell 2,000 stories in a year for sure, but I know they're out there.
oh, they're out there. And then, when you get one thank you note in the mail and you realize um, the impact that we're having, that's what keeps us going.
Exactly, exactly.
Mhm.
So, I really look forward to a bright future for the foundation. I really do. It's an incredible thing that really is kind of originated here in Cornelius, I think, in this area, and still you have a sort of a base operation here. We are honored at the town of Cornelius to provide you this facility every year, I guess, since the beginning.
We have.
And
Mhm.
that's the least we could do to support this cause and support our folks for military service that have children during that time, because they certainly need that support. But we're very honored to be a really a small part of it, because we're not the most important element of it. It's those folks that drop off those items and send that money that makes a difference. So, as Susan said earlier, the Susan Tillis Foundation, uh, you can reach them at susantillis.org and make those donations, and find out from there what's really needed in this process. But hopefully, if you don't make it this year, you'll go ahead and send them a little cash, and then next year you can actually be a part of this event. We've got plenty of room for you, because there's plenty of work to do tonight. I can
yeah.
still recall those tables piled up so high with stuff, baby stuff, that has to be organized and has to be gathered into these bundles, and to be gathered into um, the process to be effective. It's quite a refined process that you have continued to refine over the years, I'm sure. So
It's still chaos.
It's
It's
still
organized chaos. And make sure you come with comfy shoes and comfy clothes. Last year, Cornelius Town, the community room, the air wasn't working and it was hot.
Oh, wow. I hope we're going to do better than that tonight.
We don't complain because we are very grateful for the space. We do also, Woody, have a group of people across the state, but even within Cornelius, of folks that get together and make handmade items. They knit
Really?
afghans and blankets and sweaters and the little baby hats and quilts. And so you'll see this evening, right behind where we usually set up the flag, is rows of handmade items from people across the state. But we do have quite a few right here from Cornelius that support us.
Wow, that the story just keeps getting better and better, but there's so much need, and really you're only serving this one base, and you think about all the military bases throughout the country that don't have this kind of support for their service families, if you will. So got a long way to go as we move forward. I don't think you'll ever go out of business.
Oh,
Or
no.
I don't think the need will ever go away because we'll always have these military families out there that have growing families. That's part of what you do. Absolutely is. It absolutely is. So big event in downtown Cornelius tonight with the Baby Bundles shower. And it is literally a shower, and you can be involved by dropping off your baby gift, if you will, to the shower, and it could be a key part of the process of providing servicemen in the military down at Fort Liberty, formerly Fort Bragg, all the help they need. 2,000 families a year is pretty incredible for help. So anyway, go out there and visit susantillis.org and learn more about this wonderful organization and this wonderful service to our community. I'm excited about the event tonight and look forward to seeing a couple of my colleagues in mayor roles. And we have fun. You get to see people at this event that really I see about once a year when we go to this. And so I'm looking forward to, renewing a lot of old friendships, a lot of great photography going on. And, that's part of how you promote this cause around. You got to let people know about it, which is the hardest part. So
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to spread the word.
absolutely, absolutely. Big events coming up in our town. You'll notice a couple major events in downtown Cornelius this weekend with the Kane Center. Be sure to touch base and see what's going on there. A lot of action going on. I can't wait to tell folks about our new history museum that we're working so hard on. This has been a dream of mine as a native of Cornelius for so long, and I'm happy to report that project is moving forward. We've got some big announcements coming up here in the next probably 60 or 90 days, so we're excited about that. It's been a great show today. Thank you, Susan Tillis. Give our regards to Senator Tillis and thank him for his service. We greatly appreciate that. And we will be back next week, and we look forward to it. Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam.
Serving you better.